Hello everybody and welcome back to SparkleDart. You know, I was thinking about my school days a little bit ago, back when I was in high school and college and middle school and elementary school and preschool and a fetus. Anyways, I realized that studying is something that a lot of people are just naturally bad at doing. And sometimes it works in your favor, sometimes it doesn't, because here's one example of something that I'm talking about. Is I used to study a lot for science tests and the like, and I used to fail them a lot, and then I'm just like, well, this is no good. What do I do now? I'll just stop studying because apparently it's not working. And so I stopped studying science so much, and I take the tests, and what winds up happening is I start passing the tests with better grades. And I was curious about why that might have happened, and I think it might have something to do with the fact that if you study your material, you'll be more confident, which, whether or not you actually know it, you'll start to, goodness gracious, you'll start to, get a big head. You'll get real full of yourself and think that you can do everything, even though you might not be able to do everything, even something as simple as a science test, or chemistry, or whatever it was that you took, physical biology, molecular biology, where you study mitosis and when cells split apart, and whatever else you might have been studying at the time because you were like a little boy, like a tiny little boy who got shot by a Robo-Man, and it was really scary, and then he like kept coming after you, and you're like, well, would you please stop? I don't enjoy when you do this. You're really upsetting me, and I don't like being upset. Just so you know. I've got a plan, by the way. Okay, it worked. So when you go to take the test after you've been studying for it, you're like, all right, I know this. I don't have to rely on cheating or doing something untruthful or just kind of being like a belligerent little boy or nothing like that. Because what you wind up doing is you go and take the test, and it's like, all right, well, I know all this, and then you do it and you fail, and it's like, well, that was a complete waste of time. I'm never going to get into Berkeley now or whatever college you want to go to, because maybe you are looking for colleges, you're applying for colleges, and you want to get in good with the dean of admissions or whatever it is that colleges have these days. I don't know exactly. I haven't gone to college in like 65 years, even though I'm not quite that old. Let me get the record straight right now. I'm not quite 65 years old. So, anyways, a lot of people have problems with studying, and some people will drink things like energy drinks, Red Bull, Monster, NOS, or even one of those weird, gross ones that are supposed to be all natural. But if you think about it, well, 5 Hour Energy, can't forget about those. But those all natural ones, quote unquote, are a complete bunk, because how can an energy drink be all natural? It's like, alright, I get that there's natural ingredients, but these things don't coalesce in nature. There's not any huge sort of energy combination that like deers and wolves drink to whenever they want to like study or play video games all night or something. They don't drink Monster or nothing like that, or even anything that calls itself natural, even if it's not natural. When you want to eat natural, what you gotta do is you gotta eat just plain fruits and vegetables, and I guess red meat is good too. That's what they tell me. I don't know if that's true or not, but sometimes people say that red meat gives you cancer. Now, if you get cancer from red meat, and you did that on my request, then please don't sue me for cancer, because I don't have time to deal with your sort of litigations. I will get my lawyer, Gary Rosenblatt, on the phone so fast that he'll have your head spinning and your bank account. So, that's all I'm saying. That's not a threat. Let me get that straight right now. That's not a threat. I'm not threatening you. I would never threaten you. You're such a nice boy. Or girl, but probably a boy. And because of all of that, then it's like, well, heck, what do we do now? Oh, I guess we get hit by a little boy. I made a mistake, and I apologize for making that very mistake. So anyways, what was I going on about? Oh yeah, studying. You know, you're good at studying, you're bad at studying, I don't know. If you're like me, you're not good at studying, and what you wind up doing is failing classes that you think you know all about, but it turns out you don't, and then you look like a fool, and then you fail a class, and you have to take it again. Now, I took trigonometry when I was in college, like, on 3 separate occasions, and I failed it on every occasion, because I'm just, I guess, not very good at math. You know, that's what it's got to be, is that I'm not good at math. Not because I wasn't good at studying, but because I just wasn't good at math. And you know what? There's not really a problem with that, I would say. That's absolutely reasonable. for somebody of my, age. You get to a point where you just stop really caring about learning new things, and you just kind of care about like taking it easy, slow ride, take it easy, whatever the song was called, however that goes. I'm not big into music because I think a lot of music is gross, but I'll tell you what kind of music I do like. I really like that music where they're banging cans together and shit, and like stomping on stuff like barrels and oil drums and whatever. I think that's really good. Those people must be really talented to be able to come up with such crazy ways to use these devices other than their intended use, which, when it comes to some things, is actually legal. And that would probably be primarily over-the-counter drugs that you can buy at a local grocery store, like ibuprofen. It says right on the can not to use it in any way that is not listed right on the bottle. Or even things like paint thinner, lacquer, stuff like that people get high on and huff, even though it says not to do that. I guess that's more of a liability thing, because if the company says it doesn't say that it's not okay, then it must be okay to use things other than their intended uses. Now, I don't exactly see why there'd be any sort of grounds for litigation there, because it seems obvious to me that you shouldn't huff paint thinner. I mean, it says right in the name, it thins your paint, so you don't want to get. Maybe that's why people do it, is because they think it'll make them thinner. Maybe that's what it is. I don't profess to know that much about human psychology, but people have done dumber things, like those diet pills you get. People will get those, and then they're supposed to like metabolize fat faster or something like that. And people will be like, well, good, I got this stuff, now I don't have to eat healthy. I can eat pizzas and ice cream sundaes and filet mignons and all that kind of stuff. And when I do that, I won't gain any additional weight because I got these fat-burning pills, and they work. And they work like a charm. I've heard testimonials on the company's website and on their Amazon site, and only from official sources, not from any like side sources, because all the side sources say that it doesn't work. And I don't want to listen to the people who say that it doesn't work, because I want to believe that it does work, and if I believe that it does work, then it will work for me, and I will leave scathing reviews if it does not, and then those reviews will get downvoted by the people who manage those websites, the official site, the Amazon.com website, and all the fake reviews that they like to put up there will come up and overpower the one that you wrote, even if it gets deleted. I'm sorry. I apologize. So anyways, what some companies like to do is, I think there are certain chains of hotels, probably like Marriott or coastal resorts down in Mexico, that have all sorts of things you can do down there. You can stay in the resort, in the hotel, and get like your tan on. You can go to Dairy Queen, even though you have one in your hometown, you can get one there because it's like different eating Dairy Queen in Mexico, even though they use the same ingredients. Who's to tell you that that's wrong? Nobody should be able to tell you what's wrong or what's right. Anyways, these companies will put in their contracts for anybody who stays with them that they are not allowed to badmouth the company on Amazon and leave bad reviews, otherwise they will face like $1,000 fine or something like that. And I think that's a little bit ridiculous, because why should obviously you don't have to leave a review at all, so they're not telling you to leave good reviews only. But that kind of goes back to the point where if all you see is good reviews for something, then maybe it was good because nobody found it bad enough to write a review. There was some study a while ago that turned out that like 80% of women were unhappy in their marriages and would consider cheating on the husbands. But what it turned out to be was that the women who were happy in their marriages with the husbands just didn't feel it necessary to leave any sort of comment on this poll. So because of that, the results got skewed in a way that made it look like 80% of women in the United States were not faithful to their partners, or whatever it was that was happening at the time. I don't know exactly. Please don't. Please stop it. Oh, you boy. Oh, you dog. Come on. Alright, so anyways, these hotels are like, don't leave bad reviews on our websites because we will come find you and we will hurt your body. And maybe you're thinking to yourself, do they mean financially, or do they mean like actually hurt my body with like baseball gloves or tennis rackets or something like that? and you'll just have to wait and find out when they come and show up at your door and start hunting you down and asking for money. Like $3,000, I think people get sued for leaving bad reviews about these companies on their Amazon.com pages. And at that point, it's like, why would you even bother going to this company that will sue people for leaving bad reviews? I don't think it's worth it. I honestly don't think it's worth it at all. But if you think it's worth it because you like to go to Kokomo, that's where we want to go, way down in Kokomo, then you know what, that's up to you. That's your thing. I'm not going to tell you that you're wrong for thinking that. I'm not going to tell you that you're right for thinking that, obviously, because I don't really care either way, one way or the other. It doesn't matter to me, you know? Because I don't plan on going to those places. I like to go on vacation to places where I can learn things instead of just hedonistic pastime pursuits. Laying on the beach, going swimming with the dolphin. Dolphins don't like to swim with people, fellas. They don't even know what people are. They think they're weird dolphins who got like... Dolphins' obsessions with people, when you watch them in videos, is the same obsession that humans have with the mentally disabled folk. They think that they're special, and they think that they're super talented for doing things that normal people do, but because they have a disability, that somehow makes it more impressive, I guess. If you've ever watched American History X, that's absolutely not the movie that I meant to talk about. If you've ever seen American Horror Story, there's some Downy girl in there who's, she's a very good actor for having the Downs, but honestly, they could get someone like Leonardo DiCaprio to play a Down syndrome boy, because he's done that line of work before, and that was probably his first predominant role alongside Johnny Depp in What's Eating Gilbert Grape. He plays a boy with the Downs, you know, a down boy. That's what I like to call them, down boys, because they like to climb up on the table, and then I tell them, down boy. Get it? That's a joke. Okay. I apologize for that. That might have been in bad taste, but I actually thought that was pretty funny because I just made that up now. Anyways, goodness, what was I talking about? How did I get to that? Okay, so let's just cut to the next thing. Foreign oil dependence. Alright, so we're dependent on foreign oil, and you know what, that's as far as I can tell, that's not the biggest problem we can have as a country. But, hold on, let me do this real quick. Okay, here we go. Oh, goodness gracious. That's not the biggest problem we could have as a country by any stretch of the imagination. But what I think is a big problem is the fact that there's no contingency plan for something like that. So when the Saudis eventually stop providing us with oil, or we run out of oil because we dug all the oil out of the ground and all the dinosaur skeletons that fueled our cars and being re-emitted as carbon dioxide into the atmosphere, where it turned the whole world into a giant greenhouse gas sort of situation, kind of like what they have on Venus. If you've ever been to Venus, then you know all about what I'm talking about. Venus is a barren wasteland of a planet because the greenhouse atmosphere is so thick that it keeps the temperature at like 500 degrees Fahrenheit in the shade, or something like that. Some ridiculous amount of degrees that you could never live in the real world, because your body would burn to a little baby crisp, a tiny little crispy, and at that point you'd just be like, well, I guess I'm dead. Russia sent several probes there to Venus that landed on the surface. I don't remember what they were called exactly, and they were on the surface for about 30 seconds, 5 minutes, somewhere in that range, and they managed to take a panoramic view of the entire landing zone, and all you saw was like rocks and cracked surfaces, like what they got on Venus, or in some places on Mars, or something like that. You'd see in the newspapers when they go to different planets. That's what they like to talk about. So, anyways, I think I'm gonna end this episode now. So, thank you for sticking around with me. I've been SparkleDart. Goodbye, mwah.